biscuits. Lots of biscuits. Good morning. This is Sally Morgan, physical therapist, craniosacral therapist, and Tellington T-Touch practitioner for animals and people. This is Tristan. He's a Corgi, and he is scared of this wire. If you see him looking suspiciously, that's what he's checking out. So we're going to pause our normally programmed breathing exercises that we've been doing here to help people maintain a sense of calm and have some coping mechanisms during this time. Because I have had to explain on the phone to people that don't understand this about how to use gloves. And, you know, I haven't had to do surgery very often. Well, I don't do surgery. I haven't observed surgery very often. So I haven't had to put on sterile gloves very much. But certainly in the work I do, I've been tons of skin problems and MRSA and C. diff, everything. So I do know how to put on and take off gloves for me to do therapy. So we'll start with those kind of gloves. I have several kinds in the house, latex, not latex, other ones. So when you're just going to the grocery store and you're putting on your gloves, you don't have to be super careful because you're putting them on with clean hands before you get out of your car. So you put your gloves on. You go through the store, you do your grocery shopping, and you're still being really aware of what you're touching because let's say you touch the grocery cart and you've cleaned it, but maybe it's got a virus on it. You don't want to take that gloved viral hand and put it on a bunch of things in the grocery store. So you're still being really cautious. You're still using your wipe on your cart and everything else. You go through the store, you buy your stuff, and I would encourage you, if you're paying with a card, to keep that card not in your purse with everything else, but to keep it separate. You might bring an envelope to put it back in and then put it in your bag of groceries so you can clean it when you get home. But when you get back to your car, you now have these stinky gloved hands that have been in the store with you don't know what is on them, maybe nothing, but you don't want to get that in your car. So before you get in your car, you're going to take one of your gloves off so you can open the car door, or maybe both of them. And you pinch the end of the glove on the outside with one hand and slide it over your hand like this, still holding on to it. It's like the way you do a poop bag. Every dog person should get this, easy peasy. So now I'm holding the stinky glove. I am balling it up with the other hand. I am using my clean hand to put 2 fingers under the glove and then peeling it over the other glove. So now I have contained all of the contaminated gloves into a ball. And what I've been doing is just throwing them on the floor of my car and then disposing of them at home in a bag in the garage where I'm keeping them. So the other reason I'm keeping them, the main reason, is that these are actually washable. And you can run them through the washing machine, not on the hot water, but warm water and some soap. And you can reuse these if you have a very limited supply. Most people don't have a ton of these in the house usually. Maybe a couple came with like a first aid kit or hair dye and you haven't used them. So you can recycle them. Some people are using hand sanitizer while they're shopping on their gloves. That's also fine. So I have a couple of friends who are using their, well, actually many friends, garden gloves to go to the store. Okay, this is a pretty good idea, better than using something like wool gloves, because these garden gloves I have, and I think most of mine are like this, not all of them are like this, but some people just have plain cotton ones. Cotton's super washable, and not a hugely bad choice for this situation, but these have some kind of coating on the bottom. You can see they're filthy. They're actually going in the wash today. So again, you just put them on the same way you did your other gloves. And it's very important to take them off the same way. Now, the medical gloves are made so that they roll the way I rolled them. These are not. So what's happening, some of my friends are going to the store doing their shopping, And really make sure you're using hand sanitizer frequently when you have these gloves, because right now these are filthy and I don't know what's on them, but it might be a perfect place to grow virus and bacteria, because if these were a tad damp, they've got all kinds of good stuff on them for things to grow. So I would wash these first, and I would still use hand sanitizer on them when I'm cleaning the grocery cart and things. And you're going to try to take them off the same way, pinching and peeling. Well, that worked out really well for this one. Ball them up, slide your hand under, much harder, trying not to touch the outer surface, and ball them up. So now I can bring these home and throw them in the wash. Now, I can't throw them in the wash like this in a ball, or the other ones. You want to unball them when you're washing them. Make sure you wash your hands really, really, really well with alcohol after you unball your gloves and throw them in the actual washer. And, you know, some people are picky about whether you're washing them with like your laundry or by themselves. I don't know that that makes a huge difference. It depends on what your laundry is like. And to this date, everyone is saying that a trip through the washing machine with soap and water is enough to kill this virus. So I just want to let people know about this, because my friends are going to the store wearing their garden gloves and saying they're cautious. The other thing that people need to be reminded about, they're wearing masks everywhere, fine, although they keep telling us that it's more important for a sick person to have the mask on than those of us around them. But one of my friends was thinking he would wear his knit ski mask over his mouth when he goes out. And that is a bad idea. So let's say he is exposed to virus. That virus is going to sit on the wool, which has lots of curvy surfaces and little nesty areas where it can get in there. And it's going to trap it right next to your face. And let's face it, I don't know if anybody out there has ever worn a ski mask and not touched their face, but the risk of going like this while you have that on is pretty high. What I'm recommending, and a few other people are suggesting this as well, is to take a bandana, fold it in half, tie it around you like the Billy the Kid, and spray the outside with Lysol, and keep, do that and have it wet with the Lysol when you go in someplace where you think you're nervous. I'm not sure that I'll be wearing any kind of a mask if I go to the grocery store. We have a really low incidence around here. I am pretty good at staying away from other people, and I don't feel particularly threatened. I do, however, want to keep my hands clean in a store. And I know one store I went to was handing you gloves when you came in the store. Like they had a person there responsibly handing out gloves, particularly in the bulk departments, so that people are not touching the handle on the bulk goods that get used all the time and are really hard to clean, so that those stay as clean as possible. And they did have a worker there making sure that we followed protocol with the way to use the bulk goods. And I am suspecting that if this gets a lot worse in my area, that they will have a person getting your bulk goods for you, rather than have 20 people milling around that area. So these are just a few suggestions to keep you safe during this time. Hey, there's Don. Don, tell people how to put gloves on and off. It's so hard for people that don't understand. So, a ski mask, not a good choice. Bandana doubled over, better choice. 2 bandanas doubled over, even better, because now you have many layers. And again, when you come home, throw that bandana in the wash with anything else. I know for years, myself working in nursing homes, which are big germ factories, I did what a lot of people in healthcare do. I came home, I stripped everything off in the washer and jumped in a hot shower immediately. And I did not touch anything in my house. I literally ran from the washer to the shower. So that's not always necessary, but so many times in buildings where I worked, there'd be an outbreak of scabies or the flu or, I don't know, everything. We have had everything. And people like me, a physical therapist, aren't usually informed. Usually the charge nurse knows what the heck's going on, but they don't even tell the PCAs sometimes. The whole confidentiality, HIPAA thing going on. So, better safe than sorry. So I have, even now when I go teach yoga at the Veterans Hospital, which I'm on hiatus for probably several months, probably not till the fall will I possibly go back there. Even then, I wear my old scrubs and I throw them in the wash when I come home because I don't want to pick up anything there. And now I'm only there for an hour, so I don't talk to people. I don't know what's going around the building unless somebody tells me ahead of time. So better safe than sorry, but I wanted to bring people up to date on how to handle their gloves, even if you are going out in your garden gloves, which really aren't the worst choice in the world. If you handle them this way and keep them clean, these guys are, like I said, are going in the wash today to not encourage stuff to grow on them. There's a ton of bacteria that live in the soil. Could have anything living on those. So everybody stay safe, have a good day. And we will be back tomorrow to resume our normal program of teaching you breathing exercises that you can do. And then the other thing I wanted to mention also, which a few people have posted this on Facebook, if you're at home and you don't have gloves and you have to go out and you're really worried, poop bags are great. And if you have a ton of plastic bags left, I don't recommend this because they're not very recyclable and they're bigger than you need. Just a regular plastic bag would be fine. But doggy poop bags are excellent mittens. Like you could use them the same way you'd use a glove. They are not washable 99 times out of 100. And you cannot reuse them as poop bags unless you let them sit for like 2 weeks before you use them. So keep that in mind as well. Danny says she's already been home more than 2 weeks. Don't go out, Danny. You said it was really bad in your area. So thanks for joining us. Everybody have a good day. Stay home. Stay safe. There's plenty of great things to watch on YouTube, and National Puppy Day is happening, so we're pretty excited about that. You might be able to find plenty of cute puppies that people posted on Facebook, but I think a lot of people are not remembering things like that right now. So everybody have a great day. We'll be back tomorrow, and we'll go back to some relaxing breathing exercises. Thanks for joining us.